Welcome to the program, Middays, Midlife in the Midwest. I am your host, Eric Tiemann. You can call me Eric the Head. We are sponsored by Living Life in Style. That's a travel agency. They can provide you with all of your travel services, the help with all the travel services that you need. They are specialists in cruises and Caribbean and Mexico vacations. You can reach them at 816-744-1405. You can also reach them on the web at www.livinlifeinstyle.com. That's LIVINLIFENSTYLE.com. You can reach them there. Man, I woke up to a bummer today. One of my favorite actors passed away. That's right. Gene Hackman. Man, honestly, one of the best to ever do it. I mean, he was 95, so man lived a long, full life. That's fantastic. He was not. It's not like we're going to see him in movies anymore or anything like that. Still sad when a person you enjoyed his work so much, passed away, and that's what happened with Gene. So, according to Reuters, actor Gene Hackman and wife found dead alongside their dog at their home. A very peculiar circumstance here. Gene Hackman, the intense character actor who won 2 Oscars in more than a 60-year career, has died alongside his wife, pianist Betsy Arakawa, and their dog at home, the sheriff's office in Santa Fe, New Mexico, has said on Thursday. A statement from the sheriff said deputies had found the 95-year-old actor and Arakawa, 64, deceased on Wednesday afternoon at around 1:45 p.m. Foul play is not expected as a factor in those deaths at this time. However, exact cause of death has not been determined. This is an active and ongoing investigation by the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office, end quote. So there's the information. Hackman was a former Marine known for his raspy voice, appeared in more than 80 films, as well as on television and the stage during a lengthy career that started in the early 1960s. He earned his first Oscar nomination for his breakout role as the brother of bank robber Clyde Barrow in one of my favorite movies. It's a great movie. In 1967's Bonnie and Clyde. He was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor in 1971 for I Never Sang for My Father. It was his turn as Popeye Doyle, the rumpled New York detective chasing international drug dealers in director William Friedkin's thriller The French Connection, that assured his stardom and a Best Actor Academy Award. I actually haven't seen The French Connection with Gene Hackman. Some of those movies from the mid 60s through the early 70s, I just didn't spend a lot of time watching very many of them. Weird. He also won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar in 1993 as a mean sheriff. He was more than a mean sheriff. He was a horrible human being, mean sheriff, in the Clint Eastwood Western Unforgiven, possibly the greatest Western ever, Fight Me, and was nominated for an Academy Award for his turn as an FBI agent in the 1988 historical drama Mississippi Burning. He should have won. I'm just saying. Mississippi Burning is a phenomenal film. Hackman could come across the screen as a menacing or friendly, working with a face that he described to the New York Times in 1989 as that of your everyday mine worker. He does have a very everyman's man appearance about him. Born in San Bernardino, California on January 30th, 1930, Hackman's family moved to Illinois when he was a child. His father, a newspaper press operator, abandoned the family when Hackman was a teenager. The future actor remembered seeing his father wave as he drove away, instinctively knowing he would not come back. His mother later died in a fire. Dysfunctional families have sired a number of pretty good actors, he once said. He joined the Marines at 16, lying about his age so he could get in, and later studied journalism at the University of Illinois. After a short stint as a television technician and administrator, he studied acting at the Pasadena Playhouse in California alongside Dustin Hoffman. It's a good buddy to have, right? Both actors who were voted least likely to succeed eventually moved to New York, where they worked odd jobs, chased parts, and palled around with other then struggling actor named with some other rando named Robert Duvall. Yeah, like, what a collection! Dustin Hoffman, Gene Hackman, and Robert Duvall just milling around the streets of New York, waiting for their big breaks. Fantastic. Hackman appeared on Broadway in Barefoot in the Park and Annie Wednesday, a bit part in a low-budget movie, Mad Dog Call, in 1961, was followed by a critically acclaimed supporting role in Lilith in 1964 with Warren Beatty. The actor, who shunned celebrity, starred in Hawaii in 1966 and three lesser-known films before Beatty cast him in Bonnie and Clyde. He varied his roles from a ski coach in Downhill Racer in 1969 and a skydiver in The Gypsy Moths in 1969 as well. And to cap off 1969, he was an astronaut in Marooned. A method actor, he drew from his personal experience to flesh out a role. His characters were sometimes raw and violent and ranged from a small-town basketball coach in the 86 sports film Hoosiers to Superman's arch rival Lex Luthor. He was a great Lex Luthor. He was so fun as Lex Luthor. Acting honors apparently did not mean much to Hackman. In 2011, he told Time magazine he was unsure where his Oscar statuettes were. Among critics who uniformly praised his acting, Hackman was alternately lauded as one of the great underrated stars and criticized for abandoning good character parts in favor of leading roles. He conceded that there was a period when he took roles primarily for the money, but still came up with notable performances such as Lex Luthor, the campy villain of the 1978 Superman, and the two sequels. Hackman was also starred as a vagabond with Al Pacino in Scarecrow in 1973, a surveillance expert in The Conversation 1974, an admiral in Behind Enemy Lines in 2001. I remember that. Yeah, it was with was that Owen Wilson, I think was the other guy in that, based on a true story. Good movie. It was a lot of fun. Good action. And an eccentric patriarch in The Royal Tenenbaums. I did not get The Royal Tenenbaums. I watched it. I know a lot of people just love it, and I don't know. It's one of those movies, in my opinion, it's one of those movies that you either get it or you don't. I mean, that's quite honestly the way I feel about The Royal Tenenbaums. I'm not even here to I just didn't like it because I just didn't get it, but whatever. Here we are. Even at their jauntiest, Hackman's performances have volcanic undercurrents, the Guardian newspaper said in 2002. It might be the secret of his singularity is that his comfort zone is a scary and volatile place. Hackman retired in his 70s, saying the parts he was offered were too grandfatherly. His last substantial role was in the 2004 comedy Welcome to Mooseport. I miss the actual acting part of it, as it's what I did for almost 60 years, and I really loved that, he told Reuters in 2008. But the business for me is very stressful. It had gotten to a point where I just didn't feel like I wanted to do it anymore. Man, look, man, can it be any better than to have a career where you've done all you wanted to do and you feel completely fulfilled and content in what you have accomplished? I mean, like, to not feel like you have any loose ends that you never got a chance to tie up. I don't know. That seems to be a pretty nice way to wrap it up, for a career if you were doing something, especially if you did, one thing for your whole career. That would be pretty cool. Living outside Santa Fe, New Mexico, Hackman was married twice and had 3 children, Christopher, Elizabeth Jean, and Leslie Ann, with his late ex-wife, Faye Maltese, who died in 2017. He married Arakawa in 1991. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah. He was also in Enemy of the State. No, the article says that they had to correct it to say he was an admiral in behind enemy lines, not an admiral in Enemy of the State. No, because he was not an admiral in Enemy of the State. He was a former intelligence officer who knew about all of the amazing ways the government has of spying on the citizens. So he was helping Will Smith avoid being captured by, the nefarious forces of the government that were chasing him down because of, well, what was it, like a camcorder or a video game, whatever it was he had something, and the something had some digital information in it. And then Will Smith bumps into Gene Hackman, and Gene Hackman saves the day because he's Gene Hackman, man. I'm gonna miss Gene Hackman, but like you said, he's done all of his things. He was done doing his acting. He was settled into a peaceful life at home. Rest in peace, good sir. I hope that your family, that you leave behind, I hope they find some peace and comfort. You lived a very full life, and I will always enjoy your work. Oh, you know what? And I think you can find this one. I can't remember if it's on Prime or if it's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix. I got to think of the name of it now with Gene Hackman in it. Hold on. I got to look it up because I want to recommend this to everybody because this is a very good movie. I really enjoyed this movie with Gene Hackman. It's got Gene Hackman and Morgan Freeman in it. It's really good. It's from hold on. I'm just going to look it up. Give me a second. There it is. Under Suspicion from the year 2000 with Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, Thomas Jane, and Monica Bellucci. It's fantastic. It's this suspense thriller about somebody that had killed a little girl, and the whole thing is set within the interrogation. Gene Hackman's the guy being interrogated. Morgan Freeman is the lead investigator, with Thomas Jane being the role of the assistant investigator. And Monica Bellucci plays Gene Hackman's wife. And yeah, it is fantastic. It's on Netflix right now. I highly recommend if you want to go have a Gene Hackman fix in memoriam to the late great actor. By all means, include Under Suspicion in your in your list of Gene Hackman movies. Obviously, after you watch like The Unforgiven, and you watch Crimson Tide, and probably The French Connection. Since I didn't see The French Connection, I probably ought to get caught up on that one. You can watch Bonnie and Clyde. I had a whole damn list here from Gemini on Gene Hackman movies. Mississippi Burning, obviously, yes. You might as well sneak in a viewing of Superman. Enemy of the State is also a great movie with Gene Hackman. Let me see here. What's the other ones we got here? The Firm and The Birdcage. Dude, you want a funny movie? Go watch The Birdcage. Gene Hackman and Robin Williams. Does it get any better? I mean, Nathan Lane was fabulous. Great movie. The Firm, Tom Cruise. actually a pretty poor adaptation of the book, The Firm. But Gene Hackman was great because he's Gene Hackman, dude. Hoosiers, also a great watch. The Poseidon Adventure, a great 1970s disaster film. He was in Get Shorty, which is always good, right? Runaway Jury, another John Grisham movie. I don't really remember Runaway. That's a little John Cusack, I think. I don't really remember much about that one. And then Welcome to Mooseport is his final film. I believe it had Ray Romano in it. And he was like, I think Gene Hackman was like a former president running for mayor of a small little town in Maine or something. And he was running against Ray Romano, who was just, the local bloke. And anyway, I think I've seen it, but I don't think I'm not, it's not like one of my go-to movies that I watch a whole bunch, so I don't really remember much of it. But dude, Gene Hackman, hats off to a fine life, sir. I wish you Godspeed, and like I said, I wish your family some peace and comfort. Have a great one. All right, we're gonna move on to another story. Lighten the mood a little bit here. We're gonna bring this one a little closer to home next. Okay. So, an underrated Riverside, Missouri city with historic sites and a lively downtown with a vibrant farmers market. Jonathan Houston brings this report to us, this review of a destination right here close to home, about 30 minutes from where my tush is parked right now. Where, you might ask, is this wonderful place in Missouri that you could visit? Where is it? Where is it? Well, let's talk about it. As far as travel locations go, the American Midwest is often overlooked. That's why we're called flyover country, people. However, there's quite a bit to do in Missouri, especially if you ask somebody from Missouri, they're not going to think so. But, hey, let's see what Jonathan has to say, because maybe he's not from Missouri. So he would be like, hey, there's a lot to do in Missouri, especially because there are two major cities on either side of the state. There's a meme that going around that shows those two cities on either side of the state, and it says, why does it look like the two biggest cities in the state are desperately trying to escape the state? It's kind of funny. But anyway, if you want to see one of the only U.S. national parks located in a city, you can check that out in St. Louis. There you go. I didn't realize there was a national park in St. Louis. I even lived there for 2 years. Anyway, whatever. Okay. Or if you want to straddle two states, you can head over to Kansas City. That's right. Kansas City is the main part of Kansas City is in Missouri. But there is a Kansas City, Kansas, and we do have a road that is called State Line, where you can literally drive down the middle of the road and be part in Kansas and part in Missouri. True story. The added benefit of coming to Kansas City, though, is that you can explore the small towns and suburbs like the historic site of Liberty. We have reached our mystery town. Our mystery Riverside, Missouri city with historic sites. Situated on the eastern edge of the big city, Liberty almost feels like another world compared to the vibrant nightlife in downtown Kansas City, aka the Paris of the Plains. Sure, fine, man, whatever. We're the city of fountains too, because we have all the fountains, but I hate that Paris of the Plains. I just do. It's dumb. It's a terrible moniker. Liberty is much more laid back with a veritable small town vibe. Also, because it's so close to the Missouri River, you have options for green spaces, outdoor markets, and riverside experiences. Best of all, since Liberty is a suburb of Kansas City, you get the best of both worlds. When you want world-class amenities and attractions, head further into downtown. Then, when you're looking for something quieter and less crowded, explore Liberty for the things that make this town so inviting. So, what can you expect in historic Liberty, Missouri? Founded in 1829, Liberty is one of the oldest cities along the Missouri River, so it's steeped in rich American history. Part of what made the city so special was its proximity to the river, meaning merchants and steamships would arrive at Liberty Landing often and bring new materials, people, and commerce. In fact, two major historical figures found themselves in Liberty. The first was the Mormon prophet Joseph Smith, who was held at the Liberty jail in 1839. You know, when he was younger. The second was the outlaw Jesse James, who robbed a bank with his gang in 1866. And you can visit both of these sites today and learn more about their history. There is also, if you go just a little further north of Liberty, you will also find the historical home of Jesse James, and I think his gravesite. There's all kinds of Jesse James stuff going on in Liberty and Kearney, Missouri, which is maybe 10 minutes north of Liberty, and the rest of their gang. There was the James gang, but the James gang also ran with another gang called the Younger Gang, who was led by a man named Cole Younger, and they're all from right down here by me in Lee Summit, Missouri. The Younger name is and Cole Younger in particular, widely known in these parts as being an American West outlaw and partners with the James gang and Jesse James. So there's that. Nearby is historic downtown Liberty, which spans several blocks and is the beating heart of the city. The site is home to numerous shops, restaurants, and government buildings, and you can also learn more about Liberty's history at the Clay County Museum. During the spring and summer, this area is home to the downtown farmers market, which almost makes you feel like you're traveling back in time, buying goods from outdoor merchants. Other historic sites throughout the city include the Ferris Farm, which hosts various events throughout the year, and Oddfellows Home, which is part of the Belvoir Winery. While you can't tour the home, it's an impressive structure south of downtown that offers some incredible photo opportunities. Further down toward the river, you can visit the site of the Civil War Battle at Blue Mills Landing. So, planning your trip to Liberty, Missouri. First, call a wonderful travel agent like Living Life and Style Travel. They can help you, especially since they're local to the Liberty area and the Kansas City area. They could definitely help you with your trip planning to Liberty, Missouri. Thankfully, as a suburb of Kansas City, you can simply fly into KCI, Kansas City International Airport. And from there, it's about a half-hour drive, according to Google Maps, to downtown Liberty. Yeah, I wouldn't even think it would take you a half hour to get to Liberty. Maybe. I would have thought it been more like 20 minutes, but sure. Okay, whatever. However, if you want to get the most out of your trip, you can first visit the little riverfront city with a big personality, Parkville. Parkville's awesome. It really is. It's a really cool little town. Since it's practically right next door to the airport. It's true. It's probably like 10 minutes from the airport. As for lodging, most of the hotels in Liberty are clustered around Highway 35, and there's a mix of chain options. If you don't want to stay at the standard hotel, there are two unique choices within the city. The first is the Sleep Inn and Suites, which contains an indoor water park, making it ideal for family-friendly lodging. The second, if you're traveling without kids, is the Belvoir Winery and Inn. The site also acts as a private event space, so it has some gorgeous grounds and rooms. As far as dining, most of the restaurants are situated around downtown Liberty, and you can find something for each meal of the day. For breakfast, you can check out Ginger Sue's or Huey's on the square. For lunch, there's Conrad's. For delicious pub food, La Costa Mexican Restaurant or Three Halves Pub and Barbecue. So there you have it, folks. All of your options for a wonderful trip to Liberty, Missouri. Liberty is a great town. I actually looked at moving there before we settled in Greenwood, south of Lee Summit. A lot of cool history and a very for a place very much like Greenwood, for a place that's so close to the city, it has a very small town feel, like a very small town feel. It's bigger than Greenwood, so Greenwood feels a little smaller townish, but Liberty's a fantastic place. We go up and play baseball up there all the time in our baseball league. So excellent little space, excellent little place, great town. So I highly agree that I mean, I hadn't really ever thought of it, but if you were just going to come to Kansas City to visit Kansas City, staying in Liberty would be I mean, because you really are only about 20 minutes from downtown. You're probably going to get better rates on your hotels in Liberty than you're going to get like in downtown Kansas City. And you have that a very different feel for a very different feel for how you're going to for the city, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You have a very different feel for the city if you stay in that suburb. A lot of the other suburbs, no offense to any of the other suburbs out there. You all have your great feel to them too, but for most of the other suburbs around town, most of the other suburbs feel like just another suburb. Liberty is a little distinct and different in that regard, mostly because of the the age and history of the town. That makes a huge difference. All right, so that's that. We have one more thing to discuss today because Royal Caribbean dropped their list of short Caribbean getaways for 2026 and 2027. That's right. I don't know if you know this. Most of us don't generally think about planning our trips too far in advance. One of the reasons we do, I mean, most of us are like, okay, 6 months in advance, it's time to start thinking about what we're going to do for our family vacation. Don't feel bad. You're just like everybody else, right? Just like everybody else. Everybody else, pretty much waits to that time. However, it is, something to note. They're already booking up trips in 2020, cruise ships in 2026, and they've started opening them up. They'll start opening them up for 2027, probably here in the next 3 months. And if you want to get in on the best deals on a trip, the further out you book, the better off you're going to be. Yeah, it's true. They do have these very last minute deals that can sometimes be amazing. You call in, it's like 2 weeks before the cruise and you get some ridiculously good deal. It does happen. However, that's a shot in the dark. If you're planning on a cruise 2 years out or a year and a half out, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to get the deal because there's going to be space available. And because they haven't filled up the rooms yet and all of the group space is still available, you're going to be able to find some of the best deals by booking early and booking far in advance. So what is Royal Caribbean doing for 2026 and 2027 for their short Caribbean getaways? A weekender. Royal Caribbean. Oh, let's see. This is Sherman DeJean. So thank you, Sherman, on the Insider Travel Report. We appreciate it. Royal Caribbean unveiled a new set of short Caribbean getaways for 2026 and 2027 season that helps travelers make the most of their travel time. Cruisers can escape to idyllic destinations throughout the Eastern and Western Caribbean for 2 to 5 night vacations on 11 different Royal Caribbean ships starting in April 2026. Headlining the lineup are 4 Oasis class adventures with Utopia pictured above. That's that one. Yeah, it's awesome. Utopia is awesome. That's the Central Park neighborhood right down there. Yeah. Like right over here is the Chops Grill, or is this the Chops Grill over here? I don't know. One side or the other's got I think this is the Chops Grill over here. Very good. Chops Grill's awesome. So tasty. But look at all this stuff you got to do up here on the top pool deck. Utopia is a great ship. Wonder, Harmony, and Oasis of the Seas. I was on Harmony last summer. It was amazing. And they're departing from Port Canaveral, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale. Year-round voyages are available from Florida and Texas on board Liberty, Freedom, Vision, Rhapsody, and Grandeur of the Seas. Crown and Anchor Society loyalty members can be among the first to book the lineup on Royal Caribbean's website ahead of the official opening on Thursday, February 27th. So there you go. I just told you it was going to be soon. I didn't realize it was today, but it's today. You can now start booking these today. So there you go. What do you know? Guests can enjoy tropical favorites such as the top-rated Perfect Day at Coco Cay in the Bahamas. I still have not made it to this island. As far as cruise destinations, it is one of the top cruise destinations that I have not made that I want to make it sure I get to, because it looks awesome. I got to be honest. The adults only Oasis Hideaway Beach and the brand's exclusive beach destination in Labadee, Haiti. So I haven't been to any of those. So like on my next Royal Caribbean cruise, it's probably going to be something like that. Royal Caribbean is unveiling new ways to maximize short getaways with the all-new Royal Beach Club collection. Vacationers can visit the all-inclusive Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, set to open December 2025. Or get a taste of Mexico at Royal Beach Club Cozumel, debuting late 2026 on select Western Caribbean vacations. Additional adventures are planned in the Eastern and Western Caribbean at destinations such as the Dominican Republic, St. Kitts, and Nevis, and Mexico. Highlights of Royal Caribbean's year-round adventures include, here we go, here's the rundown. Utopia of the Seas. Guests departing from Port Canaveral in Orlando can board the Utopia of the Seas for a mix of 3 and 4 night adventures with visits to the award-winning Perfect Day at Coco Cay. The ship boasts more than 40 dining, drinking, and party options, as well as thrills like the 10-story Ultimate Abyss dry slide. That thing's a blast. Wonder of the Seas. This ship is back in Miami with year-round 3 and 4 night getaways to Perfect Day at Coco Cay and Nassau in the Bahamas, home to the Royal Beach Club Paradise Island. In between island hopping, vacationers can revel in thrills at the Ultimate Abyss, savor bold bites and favorites like the Mason Jar, and take advantage of play areas for kids of all ages. It's just another one of those, the Oasis class ships. They're fantastic ships for your family vacation. Freedom of the Seas. This ship will sail year-round from Miami on 4 and 5 night vacations across the Eastern and Western Caribbean, with visits to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, Nassau, Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, and more. Highlights of Royal Caribbean summer escapes include Mariner of the Seas. This ship will depart from Galveston, Texas for the summer for a selection of 4 and 5 night Western Caribbean adventures, traveling to destinations like Costa Maya and Cozumel. Rhapsody of the Seas. This ship will return to Tampa in the summer with new 4 and 5 night adventures. Vacationers can adventure throughout Mexico, exploring the best of Cozumel and Costa Maya in just a few days. Grandeur of the Seas. This ship will spend the summer in Fort Lauderdale with 3 and 4 night vacations to destinations across the Bahamas and Florida. While on Grandeur, vacations can soak up the sun in the adults-only solarium. The solarium is nice. Place their bets at Casino Royale, and even watch a film poolside with the whole family when the sun goes down. Some of the winter getaways from Royal Caribbean include Liberty of the Seas. This ship will depart from Galveston for winter 2026-2027 for a combination of 4 and 5 night Western Caribbean adventures. Travelers can set their sights on Mexico, across Costa Maya and Cozumel, including the Royal Beach Club Cozumel when it opens in late 2026. Harmony of the Seas. After a mini summer season in Europe, Harmony of the Seas will head to Port Canaveral in August and spend the winter and spring on 2, 4, 5, and 7 night escapes to places such as Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, and Falmouth, Jamaica. Explorer of the Seas. This ship will make its return to Port Canaveral, for the winter of 2026-2027 season on 4-night Eastern Caribbean adventures with visits to Perfect Day at Coco Cay and Nassau. Explorer will also offer 5-night Eastern and Western Caribbean vacations to picturesque locales, including Puerto Plata and Cozumel. Vision of the Seas. This ship is returning to Miami for the winter of the 2026-2027 season. Vacationers can escape on 3- and 4-night trips to spots such as Bimini, Royal Caribbean's Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, as well as Key West, Florida. Vision of the Seas features 8 pools and whirlpools, Broadway-style shows, and plenty of dining and drink options. Oasis of the Seas. Vacationers can escape the winter blues on Oasis of the Seas 3- and 4-night getaways to Perfect Day at Coco Cay and Nassau, including Royal Beach Club Paradise Island. Featured on board attractions include the 10-story Ultimate Abyss Drive Slide, the Perfect Storm Water Slides, and tropical sips at Poolside Bar, the Lime and the Coconut. So there you have it. Apparently, Harmony of the Seas is going to be leaving Galveston and returning to Port Canaveral. So does that mean they're not going to have an Oasis-class ship coming out of Galveston anymore? That's weird, because Mariner's coming out of Galveston, and it's not an Oasis-class ship. Wonder is in Miami. Utopia is in Port Canaveral. And Oasis is going to be, it doesn't say, but if it's going to Perfect Day and Nassau, it's probably going to become, Oasis is probably going out of Fort Lauderdale. Wonder what boat other than, interesting. I wonder if they're not going to have that big of a presence. They had 2 boats going out of Galveston. I wonder if they're cutting it to 1. I'll have to look into that. When I find out, I guess I can report back to you guys. All right. Well, hey, that about does it for everything I've got for today. Once again, rest in peace, Gene Hackman. You will be missed. Your work will be treasured. And as for the rest of it, hey, if you want some information on all the cool crap I shouldn't say crap, all the cool stuff. I could say cool shit, but probably ought to keep it to cool stuff that you can do in Liberty, Missouri. Make sure you give Living Life and Style Travel a call, 816-744-1405. If you're interested in any of those short Royal Caribbean cruises, you can also give Living Life and Style Travel a call at 816-744-1405. You can find them on the web at www.livinlifeandstyle.com. That's LIVINLIFENSTYLE.com. I'm told I don't have to say the www part anymore, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. What else? Oh, yeah. Here at the end of the show, hey, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Do all the things. Do all the things. And share that information with your friends. I'd like to have more viewers. I would like to see you more often as a viewer. So that would be great if you could do those things. Help spread the word of the show. I am going to, one other thing before I wrap it up today. I'm going to be making some I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing it this weekend. I'm going to be making some adjustments to my show. I'm going to be changing which platforms that we live stream on. And what else? Well, that's basically it. I don't know that I'll be streaming on straight to Facebook much anymore. It'll probably be YouTube and Rumble, and possibly X. I think I'm going to move the business roundtable over to LinkedIn. And you know, I've also been thinking about taking this show off of the Living Life and Style channel and putting it on my Eric the Head channel and making it more of a personal show, where I can talk more about things other than just travel. So I think I might keep my travel report show and give it a new name, keep it on Living Life and Styles channel. and then have a separate show that is my show where I talk about things I want to talk about, which, have nothing to do with travel. So that's what I'm, working on, making some changes over the weekend. I don't know that I'll get all of the changes made by the weekend, but that's the plan. So be looking out for that. I'll probably have some more information about it tomorrow. And when I have more information, I obviously will let you know, however many of you are watching. So that's it. That's it for today. Middays, Midlife in the Midwest. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you need any help with any of your travel needs, please reach out to Living Life and Style Travel, 816-744-1405, livinglifeandstyle.com.